Hey, quick editor's note for this video that you're about to start watching. I want to just quickly correct myself. There are certain points in the video where I am referring to the upcoming elections in November as the primaries. It's not the primaries, it's the midterms. Why am I correcting myself? Because I don't want to sound dumb on the internet. So when you hear that, just know that it was just probably me filming late at night and not having enough sleep and then having a brain fart and calling that election the primaries. But other than that, we're good. Enjoy the video and I will see you soon. I'm about to finish uploading this and go in the bathroom and do something with this hair. Okay, you guys, enjoy.
More states are rolling out paid family leave this year. Maryland actually just launched a program, which is really great news and good progress because at the moment we have 14 out of the 50 states offering paid family leave. So something you might not know about me is I had paid leave. I became a mom in California, which is the first state in our nation to offer paid family leave. I had a good corporate job and a real leave policy, but I still came back to work completely depleted, running on empty, and worst of all, pretending I was fine. Hey guys, it's Dana. And before I became a doula, I was actually a corporate project manager. So now that I'm doing this work full time, I help working moms plan the leave I wish somebody had helped me with, because time off isn't the whole answer. The plan is. And let me show you why and how that is. So like I mentioned in my intro, even with paid family leave, a lot of moms, including myself, can still feel underwater upon their return to work. I mean, you physically may not be fully recovered. Logistically, you might be scrambling. And who can fully prepare you emotionally for how hard it is for that first week back and that time away from your little baby? It's really hard. So if you are fortunate enough to live in a state like I was, like California, Maryland, like I mentioned, New Jersey, New York, Delaware, New Hampshire, Connecticut, can I name all of them off the top of my head? Minnesota, DC, Colorado, Oregon. If I'm missing anyone, I apologize. But it's a very short list. But if you are fortunate enough to live in one of those states, you have the leave, you have the time. But what about a plan? And that's something you really have to figure out for yourself. Whether it's your state, your employer, your benefits, they give you the time, but nobody hands you a plan for the gap in money. Yes, you might have paid leave, but sometimes it might not amount to your full paycheck. And then what about childcare? Are you ready to have your child in the care of someone else that might not be yourself? Maybe your family's not able to keep the baby, so you have to rely on daycare. That's something that you have to do intense research for and think about for a long time, do a lot of visits. And just the re-entry itself, I'm going to talk about later in this video how going back to life as it was really is not, that's a fictional premise. You're never going to be back to who you were prior to having this baby. So you can't assume and expect that you'll be able to do everything you were able to do before pregnancy. So time without a plan, really, even if you're pretending to be fine, it just delays the crash out. It's coming. So back to me, because I felt in the moment I was doing everything right. I had the leave, right? I had this, what I thought was 12 generous weeks of paid maternity leave, and I was still depleted. And my mental health struggled really, really bad during that time, like really bad. And I just kept thinking, what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? Clearly, it's a failure on my part and on my behalf, but it's not. It was not a failure on my behalf. And that's exactly why I do what I do now. I build these plans with my clients so that no one else will feel like a self-tormented failure, like they did what they thought was right, but still couldn't get it together, because that's simply not the case. The system is not set up for us to succeed. So just having time off is not a plan. And moms who come back to work steady have the support and they have the plan from day one. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Keep watching. So one of the earliest indicators that I know when I'm speaking to a working parent, a first-time working parent, is if they bring up FMLA as a fallback plan. Because FMLA is the floor. It's beneath the floor. Like if the bar is set, it's on the floor. FMLA is so bare minimum. So it is federal protection, but let me explain to you what it is. It's just 12 weeks of job protection and it's unpaid. It's just the federal government saying, here, damn, right? Keep your job, but we don't care about paying you. You can just not be mistreated, retaliated against, have any sort of disciplinary action, demotion, change in hours, none of that for 12 weeks. And it's only if you worked for a certain amount of time. You have to have been at that job for at least 12 months typically, and a certain amount of hours, and your employer has to be a certain size. You have to work for a company that's larger than 50 people to even qualify for FMLA. So if that is what you're using as your protection, it's a pretty hard cushion. It's it's not that helpful for most people. So paid leave, like I said before, depends on your state. And as of 2026, only 14 states plus Washington, D.C. have paid family leave programs at all. And what's crazy is for this country that I am from, that I'm sitting in right now, born and raised, the U.S., so I have the right to criticize us. For us to be this big, powerful nation that we taught ourselves to be, we are the only developed nation, right, out of all the nations in the world to not have any sort of paid family leave policy. Like, we don't have anything. Countries like the UK, France, Germany, Sweden, you name them, they've got it, and we do not. So it doesn't just depend on your state, it can also depend on your employer's policy. And a lot of times, if you work for a large enough company, you might benefit from the fact that it's a large corporation. They're able to pay the added expense to be able to create a paid family leave policy. But a lot of companies are small businesses and they feel like, who's going to pay for that? We can't afford to have the loss in labor, right, to continue to pay. I completely understand. That's why it's a systemic conversation and a way that we can figure this out on a legislative level and not have families themselves figure out the situation. So if you work for an employer that has a paid leave policy, you might also have short-term disability. Consider yourself to be very fortunate, because a lot of times this is the only source of any income that families have while they need to take paid leave. And I'm not just talking about maternity leave. I'm talking about illness, injury, caregiving needs. This is all relevant to everyone. So don't distinguish yourself as, I'm not a person that's going to be having a baby anytime soon. Paid family leave affects everyone. And it is kind of a class thing, because higher earners usually can afford to stack PTO hours, any short-term disability, and state benefit to reach the full potential of anywhere from 3, I think the longest I've seen is 6 months, personally, with people that I've worked with. But a lot of us in this country are not high earners. A lot of people have taken pay cuts over the past few years with the change in the economy, the work from home structure. Things are a lot different. So a lot of people cannot count themselves as high income earners with a whole bunch of PTO and availability to take time off. So it really has a lot to do with where you live, who you work for, and how much money you make. So before you put in for that maternity leave, it is your job to figure out exactly what your state, employer, and insurance benefits policies are when it comes to paid leave. Have you paid into short-term disability? Have you worked for your employer long enough to be able to be entitled to at least the FMLA federal protection, but also any paid employee benefit that your company has? And if your state has anything that they can contribute to your time of bonding and physical recovery. It's so important to know that. In this country, unfortunately, your maternity leave depends on where you live. The wrong zip code, the wrong state could mean a huge difference in experience for a lot of people. So step one is finding out exactly what you have. And let me be very specific about the state that I live in. I'm in Pennsylvania, and I verified as recently as late July the progress that paid family leave has been taking since I started getting into this advocacy work about a year ago. I've traveled to Harrisburg a few times. I've met with legislators. I've attended press conferences. I've spoken at a couple of press conferences. But as of now, the bill for paid family leave did pass our House of Representatives. But at the moment, it is kind of stuck in limbo, right? Senate leadership still has to bring it to the floor to vote. And we're also relying on our governor's signature. So once Senate figures out what they want to do with it, our governor needs to sign off on it. And fingers crossed, hopefully we'll become the 15th state in the country. And 15 out of 50 is a pretty low margin, if you ask me. But 15 out of 50, hopefully we are able to clear that hurdle and provide families in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania what they deserve, which is paid family leave, which is financial security and stability. And since I've been a part of the conversations with legislators and I've heard both sides, because there is a strong opposition to this bill passing, believe you me, trust me, we're not asking for a handout. This is not an entitlement where it's just, people are milking the state for their dime, or a scammer thing, which everybody automatically jumps to. We're not asking for a handout. We're asking for the ability, mothers specifically, to not to have to choose between caring for our newborns, recovering from pregnancy and healing our bodies, and having a paycheck. That's what we're asking for. So I hope if you're watching this, you're in Pennsylvania, you are registered to vote, and you are paying close attention to what's happening with our local legislation and the issues that are on the docket for these upcoming elections. So just some general advice, because again, this is work that I do with moms actually all over the country. I am a virtual doula, not just an in-person birth and postpartum doula here in the Philadelphia area, but I work with moms virtually nationwide to help them plan and prepare for not only maternity leave, but their return to work after leave ends, because it takes a plan, like I said. And some of the things we ask for are like phased returns, right? The expectation to hit the ground running at full speed on your first day or your first week is insane. And the scariest part about it is we are setting those expectations up for ourselves. Like, we are demanding that level of productivity and just going at it on the first day, and we can be our own worst enemy at times. I think there is this need to prove to yourself, to your team, to your family, not wanting to be the one on the team, especially in a professional setting where you feel like you're falling behind, you are making yourself look bad because of your reputation. It's hard to be a woman in the corporate world. I totally understand that, but do not set yourself up for failure. And the best thing you can do is to have a proactive conversation with your team, with your manager, HR, whomever, before going on maternity leave. So the thing that I set up with my clients is to empower them. You ask for the conversation and the meeting, and you come to them with the return plan. Don't leave it on them to decide what your return is going to look like, because they're not going to have the same understanding of what your capabilities are and what your life setup needs to be. You also need to learn early to establish boundaries as soon as possible and to make them unmovable. If you're telling them ahead of time, hey, after a certain hour, I need to be offline. I cannot be scheduled for meetings past a certain time. I might be able to get back online. This was a thing that I did where I had a block of time where it's like, I can't do meetings after a certain time during the evening, but after dinner, after the baby goes down, I will go back, read the messages, respond to the emails. You put something in your signature that says something like, my working hours might not be your working hours. Please don't feel obligated to respond. So if I'm sending somebody a message at 9, 10 o'clock at night, that's just because I'm trying to clean out my inbox so that I'm not overwhelmed the next morning when I log on. But please, by any means, do not respond to this email, or you can just schedule the emails to go out first thing in the morning and not even have to deal with all of that. Sometimes with companies, the formal phase return programs, you have to help them understand that you are actually helping them retain employees. The turnover rates and the profitability for turning over employees, it's high. It's expensive to have to hire new people and train and get the team up to speed and find the right chemistry and find people that know what they're doing, especially if you have the experience, if you've been there long enough, you know what you're doing. They don't want to lose you. So frame it in a way where you're having these conversations and you're telling them it's actually good for you too. It's good for business. This is me trying to help you with your corporate culture, with retention. You're not doing me a favor. You're actually helping yourself and your bottom line. So you started out by requesting the meeting and you come up with a plan, and they can respond to it. They can accept it as it is. They might add some changes. They might want to negotiate some things. If they just say no outright, then, maybe think about working at a different company. That's pretty insensitive to say, but you know what I mean? Like, understand what you're dealing with. You could be a culture changer in your company. So all you have to do is say, listen, I'm planning my return to work now. So when I come back, I want to be at full capacity eventually, but can we just set up a phased schedule and we can just manage and set some expectations for the first few weeks? Chances are people that you work with have either themselves been in situations as new parents or know someone closely who has also been through the same scenario, and they have compassion. And if they don't, then shame on them. Shame on them. So I just want you to know that you actually have the most leverage before you leave, not after. You need to ask early. You need to set boundaries early, and you need to manage and set reasonable, healthy expectations, not just for your employer, but also for yourself. Set those expectations ahead of time, because who knows, maybe you are gentle with yourself. Your future self, you might say, hey, I'm not going to be too hard on you, so I'm going to set these boundaries. You might supersede your expectations, which is great because you are not over promising and under delivering. You are over delivering and under promising, which is always a great a sales pitch or tag, right? It's always a win-win when you do more than what's bargained for. So you have the power. Don't let them make that choice for you. You rule the conversation and lead the conversation proactively. Something else that it just works my nerves. Bounce back culture. And as a millennial, as somebody who heard the term bounce back ever since I can remember, it probably became like a part of the lexicon in my teenage years, early adulthood, where you'd have like well-known people, celebrities, people of like, high influence having babies, and it's like, oh, she bounced back, right? And the goal was back then to make your physical appearance in your life, make it seem like, oh, you can't even tell she had a baby. That is dangerous. That is dangerous because something did happen. And there's this lie that is, we have to set us up for. And again, it goes back to that premise and that idea where we feel like we're failing, where we're too hard on our bodies. Our bodies did something so amazing over the course of our pregnancy. And to then feel like we have to immediately erase the experience and have it look like, oh, nothing's happened at all, your body's back to where it was, is such a disservice, right? And it's really unkind. And I think of like, instead of bouncing back, just say you're rebuilding, or it's like a rebirth, right? There is a new version of you that you should not be suppressing. Imagine the same way you just birthed a little baby that you're so in love with, that you're so patient and calm and understanding with, you also birthed a new version of you. So why would you be cruel to yourself, right? That's like being cruel to the baby. The baby doesn't know. The baby's never been here before, and neither has this version of you. So please stop demanding so much of yourself, not only just physically, but emotionally. Stop demanding so much of yourself with your routine, your lifestyle, your habits. You're figuring things out. And I just want you to be gentler and kinder with yourself. Give yourself the grace, right? You're not bouncing back to who you were, because who wants to be that again? I don't want to be that again, right? The person you're rebuilding is someone's damn mama. You're carrying more, and that deserves less pressure. And you also have to reward that person, that new person, with a plan to take the stress and pressure off of her. Say, you know what, future self, I got you, sis. We're planning this out so that you can have the ability to heal, to enjoy the moment, right? To enjoy this new body, right? All of the wonder and magical things that your body is doing. And if you have people around you that are criticizing your new postpartum body, oh my gosh, drop their ass in the comments, because I'm gonna go bombard them with some choice words. So when you're allowing yourself to plan your return, right? You are thinking ahead about your finances. You're thinking ahead about childcare. You're thinking ahead about what that phased schedule back into work looks like, right? Also, having a kid just makes you realize, like, this stuff does not matter. It's not that important. Yes, I need to be able to provide for myself, take care of my family, get a check, eat some food, have a roof over my head, a car to drive. All the things are important, and jobs really help facilitate that, and our careers totally understand that. But in the grand scheme of life, especially with the jobs that I had, I mostly worked at like ad agencies and worked in-house for different brands. As intense as it was, as much as they made everything seem like it was such an emergency, when you zoom out in your life, you're like, is the world going to end because we don't have the CTA copy approved, right? Because the subject lines for the email marketing campaign has to go in for another round of reviews and revision. Oh my God, our deadline is tomorrow. What are we gonna do? Like the urgency and you're somebody's mom now. It doesn't matter that much. And you take things with a grain of salt. You take your job seriously and you do your best, but you also just don't put that pressure on yourself. Like, let them run around in circles and be crazy and chase the things that are like, okay, like, all right, the world won't crumble. People will still get their emails. People will still get marketed to. Things will be fine, right? You also have to plan your support. Think about that very seriously. You have so many people in your life that are, well, I hope you do. I hope you have that in your life. But you have people in your life that are offering to help, that are excited, that want to be there for you. But it is important to give them specific marching orders, right? How does help benefit you? Help does not mean coming over to my house and sitting on my couch and I have to offer you a snack and some drinks and feel like I need to jump up and clean up and freshen up before you get here. And no, I'm going to relax. If you want to come here and help, you can help me, right? Sometimes it doesn't even have to be monetary. It could just be like, listen, make sure, please don't forget about me, right? Like, if you are of a certain age group, maybe you're the first in your group of friends that are having babies and you're like, please don't forget about me. Like, just check in on me sometimes. Make sure I'm not isolated. Make sure I'm not losing my mind. Or, you know, having people that are willing to run errands for you, like to just do little stuff for you, because sometimes it's hard to get out of the house those first couple of weeks. And you might want to get out of the house and do that. But if you can't, have somebody that's like, hey, I'm running to the grocery store. I want to pick you up. You need me to pick you up something? Is there something you need in the house? Are you guys out of coffee? Are you guys out of bread? Can I pick it up for you? Can I make that easier for you? Can I fold the baby's onesies for you? Have friends like that. Don't have friends that are just going to be sitting up in your face telling you how cute your baby is and, you know, like, oh, talking about your body, right? Like, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. So plan your return. Don't just survive it. Be kind to your future self so that you will have that feeling of the transition. And everybody goes through their trials and tribulations, don't get me wrong, but it'll be less dramatic, less traumatic, and you'll feel more steady. So you were definitely never supposed to bounce back. You're always supposed to be supported while you rebuild. You are not supposed to be supporting other people. You need to support yourself. See yourself as a vulnerable, fragile, delicate newborn like the one you just birthed, because that's who you are now. You are a new person. So the paid leave fight I mentioned earlier in this video right here in Pennsylvania, while we work through and wait for our legislators to figure out what they are doing with paid leave, I want to start something new this month. So I want to start a monthly series called On the Ballot, where I break down maternal health issues that are actually up for vote in this year's primaries in November. So my goal is not to tell you who to vote for. I don't even want to talk specifically about candidates. I just wanted to educate you guys and inform you guys about what's on the line, because paid leave is only the beginning. It impacts everybody. And if you're not aware of how your voting choices impacts every citizen in this country, you need to be. So I'm going to take it upon myself to try and let you know about that. So the first thing you need to do is make sure you are registered to vote so you can vote in November's primary. I'd also love you to follow along. I will be doing a couple of videos to encompass the On the Ballot series to have you prepared and ready for November so you can go out and cast your vote. Whatever side of the issue you fall on, I just want to make sure you understand the decision that you're making, and not only how it impacts you, because I think a lot of people just vote on like single issues, right? Or how it directly impacts them, but how it impacts the greater community, right? Like all of us as Pennsylvanians, as people here in our specific cities, our counties, and as Americans as a whole. So please follow along for more of that. And don't forget, I am launching my birth induction workshops Wednesday, August 12th. That is next Wednesday. I can't wait to see you guys there. I just did my launch post on socials. It was so scary for me, but I did it. It's the first time I'm ever doing something like this. I'm launching it on August 12th, but it'll be a weekly thing on Wednesdays. I will make sure that I'm available on the time slots that I've selected. You guys need to be informed about your birth inductions. People are perceiving medically necessary action and care as trauma because they're not being prepared, informed, and educated and empowered to be able to have good induction experiences. So if you are someone or you know someone who is nearing the end of their pregnancy, maybe your provider has brought up induction as a topic of conversation, or you just think, you know, I'm higher risk, I'm sure I'm going to need to have one, I need some education and prepare it, click the Linktree link. It is on my profile. I'm also going to click it in the description in this video so that you can register, be one of my first guests on August 12th. And if you can't make it, then I'll see you on any other Wednesday. Excuse me, I'm already messing up. Any other Wednesday that I'm holding it. As always, it's so great to talk to you guys. Make sure you're registered to vote. Do it now. November is right around the corner. You wouldn't believe how fast that's going to come. Make sure you're registered to vote, and make sure you are registering for my induction workshops. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.